Summer Nights fam, what is up? Hope everyone is doing well. I am David. This is my friend Jason, rocking to you live from Summer Nights headquarters, aka our house. Hope everyone's doing well. We appreciate you guys joining us for another week of Summer Nights. It's week 6. We're rocking and rolling
through this week 6. How long have we been doing this for? Feels like forever.
10 weeks of reunite and 6 weeks of summer nights.
Oh,
You've heard of Zoom fatigue. We have stream fatigue.
You know, I remember when we first started doing this, I was like, you know what, it's gonna be a couple weeks. It'll be fine. That was back when quarantine seemed like it was gonna be something like a month, and we're all good.
And here we are.
16 weeks later.
Here we are. I could do this every week.
Yeah. Let's keep it going.
You want to do a little roll call? See who's joining us for week 16?
Let's see who's down here. We got
who's sticking with us.
So we got Mandy Thompson. We got Matt Curtis is in the house. He's watching along. We got Hunter Blake, Danny Morales. Eric Dillion is in the house. Top fan of Eric Dillion. Did you know? Fun fact. He is single out there, ladies. Contrary to popular belief. So it's a good catch right there.
Maybe we'll just do a dating show one week and get all the eligible bachelors and bachelorettes on here.
Yeah. Then we got Bailey Grace Mustard and Evan Bingham as well.
I don't mean to throw Eric under the bus, but I'm pretty sure he just logs on to get the first comment and then logs off.
Yeah. Prove that you're still here by commenting below, please.
Yeah. Well, we've got a giveaway for the folks watching who decide to share, right?
Oh, heck yes.
Yeah.
Same as always, fam. You share that video,
the wheel.
You get a chance to spin this wheel, and there are lovely, lovely prizes. You know, we haven't had that Amazon gift card one yet, but we also haven't had that hug one yet.
It's due.
Or Matt Curtis, so it's about time.
We've promised to not change up the wheel until someone wins one of those prizes. Hey, Eric is here.
Eric's here. Hey.
Did you text him and tell him to get back on?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. Also, Monster Mike showed up, so look at that.
Another
in the house.
Another top fan, Monster Mike. Did you tell him how they could win that raffle?
I would hope I did. You share this video, we're gonna put your name in a bowl, draw from it at the end of the show, so be sure to stick around. But yeah, share the video.
Yeah. We're also going to do some giveaways like we usually do here in just a little bit. Do a little trivia action. Each round, the winner gets a $10 Amazon gift card. And it can add up if you win multiple rounds.
Yeah, it's like our own little hope stimulus package, right?
Yeah, there you go. Speaking of, Kanye West announcing he's running for president. Just when you thought 2020 couldn't get any crazier.
And oddly enough, I feel like that's the most normal thing about 2020 so far.
That is true. But it did inspire me for this week's game, Jason.
Oh no.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Not with that.
Promise it's not that political.
All right. Joy.
All right, so the game this week is Password.
All righty.
You know the game Password? I'll explain it to you in a minute, but it's 2020 edition. So all the associated words will be related to 2020. All right. And so here's how it's going to work. Jason and I are going to draw a word from the bowl here. And then we're going to alternate saying a word that will indicate what that word is. So the main word is the password. And then Jason and I will alternate saying a word that serves as a hint for that main word. And then you're going to guess in the comment section. You can guess as many times as you want. And the first one to get it right will be the winner for that round.
I've got a feeling these aren't going to be very positive.
No? Well, here is something that is positive, all right? There's been a lot of talks the past few weeks about collusion, conspiracy with how we pick the winners. And apparently the comments show up in different order for different people. And so here's what we're going to do. We've added a real-time live comment section to the stream right there.
Right here.
Right there. So that is what we're basing off of who the winner is. All right. So as soon as you type it in, it should pop up right there. Matt Curtis saying hey to Courtney Day. You're saying hi, David. Michael Owens is ready to go. He's saying, all right, let's do this. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go once I figure out. I'm like a weatherman trying to figure.
The green screen.
And Michael's comment is right here.
Okay, so once again, guess as many times as you want. First one to guess it right is the winner. It's going to be like a one word or like a word hyphen word.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So I'll do the first one.
Yeah, start us
I mean,
off.
we're both doing it, but you know. All right. So just remember one word at a time. All right. You see it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Bug.
Bad.
Homicide.
Mean.
Washington.
Sharp.
Oh, hey, Mandy Thompson got
That
it.
was
All right.
fast.
Well done. I was hoping someone would bail me out because I didn't have another word. All right, good job, Mandy. All right, you want to draw the
Nice.
next one?
We've got proof right there now too. No one can
do.
argue with us. That was first.
She's also the only one who guessed anything. So.
All right. Oh, we got it.
Okay.
I don't really like this. Is gonna be fun.
Okay, you gonna start?
I'll start. Separate.
Isolation.
Martini.
Coronavirus.
Safe.
Home.
We can only say one word, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got some guesses for social distancing. That's not it.
Full. Oh, we got one.
We got it.
We got it. Thank
Olivia.
you. It's right when we were running out of words that they seem to get it. So that's good.
Burn,
That's
baby,
good.
burn. Got it. All right. Good guess, Matt. But that's not how you spell quarantine.
Very close.
Appreciate the effort.
I was trying to spell Quran there.
Oh wait, I have. Okay, I don't have the answers queued up. Wait, I do, but I don't know which order they're in, so we're gonna skip it. All right, you got another one? Caleb White getting in there too.
All right, just a little late.
All right, here we go. I'll go first. Virtual.
Teleconference.
Meeting.
Fast.
I'm going a different direction. Fatigue.
Blue.
Boom. Mandy
Got
Thompson.
it.
Mandy's on a roll. She's racking up this week.
I don't really know what GA's guess was, but yes, Liv
she
is
was
not.
cheering on Olivia.
Oh,
who also
okay.
got it. Evan, Caleb, Hunter, all coming in just a touch too late.
Gotcha. Maybe less cheering, more guessing, huh, GA?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Can't win with that.
All right, next one. You ready? We got two more.
Oh gosh. All right.
You start.
Fun.
Congress.
Political.
President.
Fruit.
Okay. That one really threw me off. Wes likes your shirt. Failed.
Georgia.
Okay. I feel like you're gonna throw.
They're gonna
people
make
off.
sense. I mean, they're helpful, right?
Okay. Let's see. Donald.
Nixon.
Ooh.
Hey,
good.
hey.
Clinton.
It's a good side note there.
Yeah.
Gosh, what other words for this?
Wes guessing Ross Perot. Kanye. Oh, we gonna give it to who should we give it to? Courtney or Olivia?
Oh, you make that call, sir. You should have just said one.
All right, so the
You got impeached there.
Let's go by the book. The words impeachment. So we're gonna go with Olivia.
Okay.
Courtney,
got
great
it.
guess, but it's got to get the exact word.
It's a good. There's a theme there. Question marks. You guys gotta be.
Question mark.
You gotta be confident. No question marks.
All right, last one, last round. This is a good one. I'll start it off.
Oh, I could go a
Time
lot
out.
of bad directions with
Time
this
out.
one.
You want to explain to Jordan what you were doing there? He's asking Donald is a type of fruit.
Oh, I mean, impeachment. Georgia peach. Come on,
Yeah.
come on.
It clearly didn't help anyone.
You know what? I was trying to be.
Yeah.
I was trying to be helpful.
All right.
How do we do this in a politically correct way?
I mean, we've already crossed that line. I think,
Yeah,
so.
we're good. We're good.
Female. No. Scratch that. Woman.
White.
Mid-40s.
Angry.
Entitled.
Rude.
Let me see your manager.
That is more than one word, sir. Gosh. No mask.
There we go.
Hey, it didn't take
Courtney
long.
Day with Karen. Watch, they're all gonna come in now.
Yeah.
Karen.
Yeah.
Ooh,
What?
They're saying Jason.
Wow.
Hey, don't be a Jason.
No, Wes. I did not pick up this shirt from. I don't even know. Is that supposed to be? Is that like an old person thing? Jane Fonda.
Jane
what is
Fonda,
that?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's before my time, Wes. Sorry.
All right. Wes, don't be a Karen.
Or a Carol. I think that's
or
a
a
pretty
Carol.
good one. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt guessed Carol Baskin.
Have you been seeing that? There's different levels to the Karen thing, actually.
No.
There's Karen, then there's Susan. Mm-hmm. There's like one more tier that's supposed to be like the worst, but a good one because there's been all these videos now popping up about nice ladies, and those are Lindas.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
True story. Learn something new every day.
Does it have to be Linda or can it be Lynda?
I didn't look that far. into
Okay,
it.
shout out
But
Miss
Linda, if you meet a nice lady, they're Lindas.
Okay, you know who else is a nice lady?
Who?
Kari White.
Oh.
And we're going to hear from her in just a little bit. She's bringing the word tonight. But first, we've got Jen, Evan, Daniel, our fave band, bringing us some worship. So y'all enjoy and kick back and relax. See you guys soon.
Who breaks the power of sin and darkness? Whose love is mighty? is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy, worthy, worthy. Oh, this is amazing grace. Come on. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. I count on one thing: the same God who never fails will not fail me now. You won't fail me now in the waiting. The same God who's never late is working all things out. You work all things out. Yes, I will lift you high in the lowest valley. Yes, I will bless your name. Oh, yes, I will sing for joy when my heart is heavy all my days. Oh, yes, I will. I count on one thing: the same God who never fails will not fail me now. You won't fail me now in the waiting. The same God who never fails is working all things out. You're working all things out. Yes, I will. Yes, I will lift you high in the lowest valley. Yes, I will bless your name. Yes, I will sing for joy when my heart is heavy all my days. Oh, yes, I will for all my days.
Well, thanks, Evan, Jen, and Danny. And what you don't know, Sam Volk III, shout out Sam Volk III. He's been running slides every Wednesday night that we've been doing worship. So thanks, guys, for leading us tonight. We try and stop down during summer nights, and we really want to cast this vision and share this vision with you that we don't want to be a ministry. We don't want to be young adults who just focus on us and live a selfish life, but we want to focus on being selfless. And what we want to do is use summer to be a launching pad rather than a landing pad, something where we can go out and serve the world, love our neighbors, and do things. And to do that, we came across a very particular opportunity to serve the church, the global church, this summer, and we want to share that with you. So I brought in Julie Matheny, one of the Matheny's who have been involved in the young adult ministry for years now. They serve with helping lead college small groups, and Julie and her husband Jeremy serve through connecting and really mentoring a lot of our young adults, and it's been super helpful. They are former missionaries themselves. They were in the mission field for 7 years in Thailand and in India. And here, Julie, can you share a little bit about the opportunity we have to serve the church?
Yeah, actually, so a little bit about our friends. When we went through missionary training 8 years ago, it was a really formative experience because we were in 3 months worth of intense training about how to be missionaries. And honestly, we were young. And so a lot of the relationships that we formed through that time were really special and some really deep bonds. And one of our good friends that came out of that training, they are coming back to the States and going to be in Durham for a year.
Okay, so to frame that up, is a family of 5, right? Mom, dad, 6.
They've got 4 kids.
4 kiddos. Okay,
Yeah.
Family of 6 who's been in country doing mission work,
Yeah.
raising support, doing God's good work. Amid a year of pandemic and all the chaos that's going on, they have to leave where they are, and they're put into Durham because they can find housing there. Do they know people in this area?
No, they didn't even know that we were in this area until
Okay.
she had posted on Facebook that they were going to be in North Carolina. I'm like, hey, we're at North Carolina, you're going to be? And she said in Durham. I was like, oh, you're going to be really close to us.
Right.
So it was super exciting to be able to look forward to reconnecting with them, but also to be on this side of things where we get to be a helping hand for them.
Right, and you're established, you've been here, so they can kind of lean
Right.
on you. They don't have family in the area. What are some
No.
things that they need that you're aware of?
So some of the biggest needs that you have whenever you're and you guys know, if you're moving to a new place, it's expensive getting set up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, imagine moving to a place where you know it's going to be short term. You've got a year there, and all you're coming with is the luggage that they let you on the airplane with. So family of 6, that's 12 bags. Seems like a lot of stuff when you're lugging it through the airport, but it's really not that much. So there's going to be lots of things that they're going to need to buy. They're moving into a furnished house, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we'll have all the furnishings that their family needs
Right.
or wants. For instance, if their kids like to ride bikes, they're going to have to buy bikes. So one of the ways that we can really bless them and help them out, especially in the first little bit of getting established in those first big expenditures, is helping stock their pantry. So coming back here to the States is actually a really hard thing. It can be a very lonely time. And so this is just a way that, helping stock their pantry, helping maybe get some clothes for their kids, some board games for their kids. Those are just some little ways that we can be like, hey, we know you don't know anybody else here, but we can love you and we can encourage you and come alongside you in this season. You're not alone in this season.
You're not alone in the season. That's great, Julie.
Yep.
Thanks for telling us about this. So our next step is going to be, if you are interested, and we're talking about a thing of cumin or whatever. Is that how you pronounce that?
Cinnamon, cumin.
Cinnamon, cumin, I don't know. $1, right? Just one little thing, a spice, some salt, pepper, board games that I don't think they have to be brand new, just something to
No.
entertain a bunch of kids. Reach out to Julie. Julie, what's your email?
juliematheny@gmail.com.
That's
We'll
awesome.
have it in the comments.
There it is. It's in the comments. Also, if you're a young lady, you just want to talk to an awesome woman, there you go. Email her anyways. But we love you guys. We're going to jump in to Kari White's message and maybe another song or two. But here we go. Love you guys. Check you later.
Good evening. My name is Kari White, and I am grateful to be here with you tonight to get to share just a snapshot of what God is teaching me in this uncomfortable season, how He's showing me to lean into Him in new ways. I think that I wake up every morning these days, and my first thought is, let's just screw everything and go to the beach. I just want to run away. I want to escape. Let's do that. I think that's a great idea. And God is showing me instead how to transfer that energy into leaning into Him. Whenever I get a chance to share a message, I like to start with hey, here's what terrifies me about sharing this message with you. Here's what makes me feel really insecure. And tonight, that is this fear that I have that I am too much for people. I am a deep thinker. I've walked through a lot of hard things that have created this grit in me. So that's what I bring to the table. And often I worry that that scares people. So I'm putting that in God's hands tonight and trusting that in whatever intensity that He needs to bring, that He's going to show up and be good in and through our time together. And I'm just going to start, with a really lighthearted story of how I came to the end of myself when I was 21. It was not the first time, nor was it the last time that I came to the end of myself. And in God's mercy and in hindsight, it's actually kind of a funny story, but it didn't feel like a funny story at the time. I'd been struggling silently for years. I had a lot of really difficult childhood experiences, a lot of depression and anxiety and mental health struggles. And I couldn't even really see any of that. I couldn't see that as maybe reasons why I was coming up against obstacles in my life. Instead, I looked around at everyone around me and I compared myself to them. I saw this breakneck speed that people were running at of productivity and personal accomplishment, and I was falling behind. Externally, I wasn't. I had the grades, I had the leadership opportunities, I had the future plans, I had the friends, I had the fiance, I had the ring, but inside, I was crumbling. This is a period of life I like to call panic attack in pottery class. I was a psychology major with an art minor, and I was taking what would turn out to be one of the only classes that I am innately bad at, and that is ceramics. We were halfway through the semester, and I had white-knuckled my way through the potter's wheel, making these wobbly off-center bowls that, yes, my mother did love. Thank you very much. And we were moving on to free-form ceramics, and everyone's kindergarten favorite, the pinch pot. And I'm not kidding when I say that in my head, I was going to make the most beautiful pinch pot of all of the pinch pots, and I was going to show my professor how worthy I was of the art world, how successful I was going to be as an artist. And this is before the advent of emojis. And so I'm making this pinch pot, and what comes out is not beautiful. It, in fact, looks more like the precursor to my 10-year-old's favorite emoji, and I'm sure you can figure out what that is. It was this massive failure, and it triggered something in me. It felt like a total failure, but not just that. It felt like a projection of my future. Like all I was going to be able to do was this crumbling, broken pinch pot future. And I had a full-fledged panic attack in the middle of class with this leaning poo emoji in my hands. My professor handled it really poorly. He sent me to the counselor's office by myself. And I actually ended up leaving school. I failed ceramics. I still have an F on my transcript to prove it. And it was devastating on multiple fronts. There was a lot of shame. My spirit was crushed. I experienced a really deep depression that made it difficult to want to keep going. For as long as I had been in school, I was smart. That was how people knew me. That was my identity. It was my hope for the future. So in this kingdom economy, in our culture, the world's culture, where the first are first, I was out of the race at 21. But the good news is that I don't live in a kingdom economy where the first are first. I get to live in God's economy, in God's culture, where He is the ruler, and the last actually have a lot to teach us about our standing in the world. This was the first time where I experienced the truth that coming to the end of myself does not mean my life is a failure. And I just feel like I need to say that again. Coming to the end of yourself does not mean your life is a failure, and it is not a projection of your future. It is actually a gift of exposed truth. It's God allowing you to experience physically what is true of every single person on this planet spiritually, which is that in and of ourselves, we cannot make our way to God. It sucks. I'm not going to deny it sucks. And because it's hard, it's possible to miss this gift. It's also possible to refuse the gift, to say no to God when He asks us to come to the end of ourselves. And it is human nature to try and return the gift, to say, okay, God, thanks for teaching me some things through my weakness, but I got this now. My hope tonight is to give you a foundation of encouragement to say yes to the gift of coming to the end of yourself, to receive it and internalize it and live from the beauty of it. It truly is the best, and I would argue the only way to experience the deep and abiding grace and mercy and love of our good God. We're in 1 John 3, 24 through 4:16 tonight, and in the meta-narrative of Scripture, and I just like to say that because it makes me sound really smart, and apparently that's still an issue in my heart. The overarching story of the Bible, there are 4 main themes. They are creation, fall, redemption, and restoration. Creation meaning God made everything we see and know. He made us in His image, and He called it good. Fall being Adam and Eve, humanity in the garden, turning their back on God and choosing to live their way instead of God's way, essentially breaking the relationship between them and God that they were created for, allowing sin and death to enter the world. Redemption is God's love saying, I can't stand to be apart from you, so I will send myself through my Son to cover your sin and bring you back into a relationship with me if you so desire. And if you've not said yes to God yet and being in a relationship with Him, that would be the best yes that you could say to God tonight. And then restoration. It's the life that we get to live as a result of being in a restored relationship with God. And the book of 1 John falls in that last category of restoration. It's saying this is how we get to experience the new life God has given us through Jesus. Restoration sounds really romantic, and we watched Chip and Joanna take a crap hole of a house, and in an hour they completely redo it, and it's beautiful and it's drool-worthy, and it's this dream house that looks so much better than it did before, and we feel like that's how it happens. I don't know if you've ever restored an old piece of furniture, but it takes a lot of work. It's a lot of sanding and time and all the nooks and crannies. And even when you get it all sanded down, what is left is not yet the new creation. It's just raw, exposed wood. And it's only then that it is ready to be brought back to life, to be restored. And that is true of us and our lives as well. So keep that context of restoration in your mind as we work through 1 John. We're going to start in chapter 3, verse 24, where it says, whoever keeps His commandments abides in God, and God in him. And by this we know that He abides in us, by the Spirit whom He has given us. And we don't have to go any further than that first verse for our theme of the night to jump out. He says it twice here, and it's the word abide. We're going to come to a working, experiential definition of what abide means in the next few minutes. But the first thing I want you to notice is the repetition here. 1 John is a study of biblical repetition. If you do a read through of the whole book, it's almost dizzying how many things John spins on repeat. And the things he's repeating are simple truths. They're the basic elements of the believing life. He also uses a lot of stark contrasts, black and white things, light and dark, life and death, confession and deceit, spirit of God and spirit of the world. These stark contrasts are essentially the before and after on our home reno show. Death before, life after. Dark before, light after. Deceit before, confession after. Spirit of the world before, spirit of God after. When we are children of God, when we say yes to following Jesus with our life, John calls us that over and over again. Children of God, little children. The after is the spiritual DNA that we inherit from our Father. It's the core identity of who we are. And this is how God sees us when he looks at us. In verse 24, John connects abiding with following the commands of Jesus. And here we see that abiding and obedience are interconnected. You can't have one without the other. And if we jump back to verse 23, we see what the commandments are. The first is believe in the name of his son, Jesus Christ. And the second is love one another. It's actually really simple when you break it all down. The word here for believe is the verb form of faith. It's faith in action. And I think that the best word to describe an active faith is trust. Belief is not just a right set of thoughts. It's a lifestyle of trusting Jesus. It's not solely a matter of the mind, but a conviction of a whole life. The second command follows from the first, love one another. When we trust Jesus with our life, we spend time in him, that's abiding. We'll start living like him. And when we live like him, we love like him. And I just want to make a point that God's commands are not grading categories on a rubric because he's no longer keeping score. Next week, you'll look at 1 John 4:18 that says, perfect love drives out fear because fear has to do with punishment. The punishment for not following God's commands, we don't have to be afraid of that because Jesus already took it on the cross. God's commands aren't about passing or failing. They're an invitation to a restored life. We're going to jump to verse 4, chapter 4, verse 4, where it says, little children, you are from God and have overcome them, for he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. Verse 6, we are from God. Whoever knows God listens to us. Whoever is not from God does not listen to us. By this we know the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. Here, John's reminding the tired, overwhelmed, questioning believers who have people coming at them that are trying to deceive them and distract them. He's reminding them, you are from God. And that word from is so beautiful. It means from the interior of essentially saying we are from the heart of God. I can go out into the world being reminded I come from the heart of God. And then he says, you have conquered the world. Why? Because you're super awesome and great? No, because the one in you, the Spirit of God in you, is greater than the spirit in the world. Jesus says in John 14:30, the ruler of the world is coming. He has no power over me. John then repeats himself, and instead of you, he says we are from God. And I see him pulling the believers together in this group hug, this huddle, and all of their heads are leaned in and their arms are around each other. Picture that as you hear his next words. He says, beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God, and whoever loves has been born of God and knows God. Anyone who does not love God does not know God, because God is love. In this, the love of God was made manifest. It was revealed among us that God sent his only Son into the world so that we might live through him. In this is love, not that we have loved God, but that he loved us and sent his Son to be the propitiation for our sins. John brings in that second half of the command to love one another.
In this,
and he's
the love
saying
of
that
God
that
was
love
made
comes not
manifest
from
and was
us, but from
revealed.
God as the source of all love. And I don't know that we truly understand the depth of God's love. I know I don't. Because if we did, we would realize that in his presence is the safest place to come to the end of ourselves. God is unconditional love. There are no strings attached. When expressed towards us, when we're the object of his love, it means that he delights in us. And it also means that he is unwilling to do without us, that he will not abandon us. It's not a sentimental feeling, but a choice that he made that is expressed actively through the cross, making the cross the very definition of God's love in action. We see that in verses 9 and 10 here. This is the love of God revealed in him. He sent his only son so that we might live through them. That's an echo of John 3:16. We're going to move on. We're going to jump into 4:11, where it says, "Beloved, if God so loved us, we also ought to love one another." Verse 13, "By this we know that we abide in him, and he in us, because he has given us of his Spirit." Verse 16, "So we have come to know and to believe the love that God has for us." That verse is so important. God is love, and whoever abides in love abides in God, and God abides in him. In 6 verses, John uses the word abide 6 times, and in the center of those verses, he reminds us that we know we abide in him because of his Spirit in us. And in John 16, Jesus said, "It's better for me to leave so that I can send my Spirit to be with you." As believers, as followers of Jesus, God's Spirit lives in us. And if God is love, that means that we have love itself residing in our bodies, that we embody God's love. And that means that we can stop trying to earn God's love. We already have his love. We just get to learn how to live from his love. And that's what abiding is. It's staying and waiting in his love long enough that it changes us. Abiding is not John's language. He's using the words of Jesus from John 15, where he says, "Abide in my love. If you keep my commands, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and abide in his love." Abiding is a means of restoration. Me in him and him in me, being like me laying down my kingdom over and over and continually receiving his. It's knowing God and being known by God. And these are deep things, the kinds of things that only the best of friends share with each other. They're the secrets and the hidden things of the heart revealed to one another. And we see that God has revealed himself to us in Jesus. The question is, do we allow God to access the hidden things of our heart? And that's our sin, but it's also our fears and our hurt and our brokenness. It might even be our anger at God or our disappointment in him. It could be our failure and our lack. Or are we afraid of how he will react when he finds out what's there? Do we instead choose to cover up in shame? If we go back to the garden, once Adam and Eve recognized evil in the world for the first time, the first place they recognized it was in themselves. And their instantaneous reaction was to cover up in shame, and they used fig leaves. And I'm not sure if you've ever seen a fig leaf, but it kind of looks like a hand, and there's these giant holes in between the leaves, and that could not have been very effective. It's almost silly. And in the same way, it's silly to think that we can hide the deep things of our heart from the God who created us and loves us and knows us inside and out. It is wasted energy. I've had so many conversations recently about this season of life, about stay at home and quarantine and the change of pace, the slower pace that so many of us are experiencing, and it's really uncomfortable. And I think one of the reasons why it's uncomfortable is we are being forced to spend more time with the quiet of our own minds, with the discontent of our spirits, and without the productivity that we so often use to build our identity. We've been given the gift of discomfort, of coming to the end of ourselves, and I'm afraid we'll waste it trying to find new ways to distract ourselves. In so many ways, this season is like sandpaper. It's exposed the junk under the surface. We see that culturally in our world around us with racism and racial tension. And we see it in ourselves. God is exposing bias in me and privilege in me. And I'm trying to allow him to do that, to change my heart so I can love others better. Abiding is an experiential thing. It's coming up against these hard things in life and leaning into God and letting him use them. I'm reading this book right now called He Loves Me by Wayne Jacobson, and there's this great quote in here. He says, Jesus seemed to think backward about everything. You're blessed when you're at the end of your rope. With less of you, there is more of God and his rule. Every New Testament writer echoes Jesus' words. All of them tell us that we can rejoice in our most difficult moments because Jesus will be working things out in those seasons that we would never let him touch when all is well. He didn't tell us to rejoice for the bad times, but in them, because he would convert our pain into his glory. The truth is, we grow in trust only at moments of extremity. If we can do it ourselves, we will. When God's love touches you, you will discover there is nothing more powerful in the entire universe. That's another quote from this book. And it's because of the power of that love that we can say yes to God when he asks us to come to the end of ourselves. It's actually one of the most secure things that we can do in this life. And when we say yes to the gift of coming to the end of ourselves, when we abide and stay and remain in his love, he can restore our hearts. And only then can we actually go into the world and love like people who come from the heart of God. I don't think it's an accident that I fell apart trying to form clay into my own success. I was pouring all this energy into remaking myself in order to boast of my own impressive abilities, but the Bible talks frequently about how God is the potter, we are the clay, and we are the work of his hand. When I was 21, God gave me the gift of collapsing my pinch pot kingdom, and he met me in the pain of it, and he loved me through the darkness, and he restored a flood of light on the other side. You might be thinking, this is all well and good, but how do I actually do this? How do I actually abide? And for me, it's happened in really big moments where I've come to the end of myself, but lately I've realized that I actually am experiencing the beauty of it in small moments more frequently. And one way that I like to choose to abide, to rest in Jesus, is through breath prayers. I just take a piece of scripture, a short one. Psalm 139 is a great one, 23, to start with. It says, search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. And it just looks like breathing in really deep and like letting your lungs expand. And as you do that, saying that first part to God, search me, God, and know my heart. And on the exhale, teach me and know my anxious thoughts. And then I like to take a couple of rounds of breath just to listen for his voice and to let his love just wash over me and to allow him to change me from his love. And I just do that. You can do that once, you can do it 3 times, you can do it for 30 minutes. It's a really practical way to choose to abide intentionally. I know that it's hard. I know that it can even be terrifying, but it's so, so worth it. Our God is the safest place that I know. Let me pray for you. Jesus, we hold our hearts open-handed before you tonight, knowing that you are good. If we don't feel like you are good, I pray that we would choose to believe the truth that you are good. And I just am praying, God, tonight for whoever needs to know the truth, that you are safe and you are security, and that it is okay to come to you with nothing. And that, God, you would meet them there, that in your love that covers all, you would give them stillness and contentment and rest and a sense of peace that they've never experienced before. God, you're a God who changes us from the inside out. And I pray for the courage myself. I pray for the courage to say yes to you when you want to change something in my heart. I pray that those watching would also choose to have that courage, to say yes to the gift of coming to the end of themselves, to leaning into you when things get hard, abiding, staying, remaining in your love and letting that just wash over them. And then going out into the world changed, loving from your heart in a sacrificial way that you love. Thank you for that power that we have access to through your Holy Spirit. I just pray a blessing, God, a blessing over each one of those watching tonight. That your nearness, your presence would be tangibly felt. Amen.
Grand earth has quaked before, moved by the sound of his voice. Seas that are shaken and stirred can be calmed and broken in my regard. Through it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well with me. And far be it from me not to believe, even when my eyes can't see. And this mountain that's in front of me will be thrown into the midst of the sea. Through it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well. It is well. So let go, my soul, and trust in Him. The waves and wind still know His name. So let go, my soul, and trust in Him. The waves and wind still know His name. The waves and wind still know His name. It is well with my soul. It is
with me. Yes, Jesus, no matter what we go through, God, no matter what chaos surrounds us, we know, God, and we believe with our whole hearts and our entire soul that we are well because we're surrendered to you in this moment, God. No matter what happens, we're with you. If we die, we get to see you. If we stay, we'll preach you. Lord Jesus, you're incredible. And it's because of that that we know, no matter what, it is well with our soul. In your name, amen.
All right. Awesome worship. Awesome message. Thank you to Kari White for bringing the strong word tonight. We're always grateful to have Kari when she is able to preach for us. So grateful for you, Kari. Thank you. I believe Kari might be sticking around on the live chat here if you guys want to chat with her. I saw her husband there earlier, so if she's not there, you can talk with her husband. I'm sure he knows as much, if not more.
Yeah, he's calling you out for Salad Gate too.
Yeah.
So watch out.
With her crispy chicken salad. Have you ever heard of fried chicken called crispy chicken?
I'd go fried chicken. I've heard crispy chicken. No, crispy.
Crunchy chicken. It was crunchy chicken.
So that's an interesting.
I feel like
All right.
it goes fried, crispy, crunchy.
Interesting.
Yeah, there we go.
How freaking lucky are we, man? I feel like we've got such talented people working on it. We got Carrie's message, and we've got Danny, Evan, and Jennifer with that amazing worship. I mean, we're the loose end here.
I was about to say, yeah, like talented people, and then you got us.
Yeah,
But what we do well is give away money.
we are good at that.
Yeah. So we've got a bowl.
What are we cooking up here?
With everyone who has shared the video. So if you're just joining us early on, we plugged, and every week we plug. If you share this video, you get your name entered into a raffle. And what's you have the prize wheel around here somewhere?
Always accessible.
Yeah.
Always accessible.
There we go. Okay, I'll hold the prize wheel this week. So Jason's. I think you need to hold it. There's less of a glare.
I got
over
a
there.
hold. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay, so
What's Hurst cooking up tonight?
Jason's gonna draw a name out of the bowl here, and just for full transparency, I think your name's in the bowl.
Yeah, since we had like 4 people share this tonight.
Oh, there are 5.
5.
We got 5
okay.
names in here.
Gotcha.
Grace Ann's name's in the bowl, so just putting that up front, just for full transparency.
Why ever would that?
I don't know. Yeah, we've had people accuse us week after week of collusion.
I feel like we've been.
I'm just trying to get ahead of it.
It is like a twice weekly thing. Someone's
Okay.
gonna message me.
Someone's commenting saying, "Nice bowl movement, Jason."
Oh, thank you. You know, you gotta have the
Yeah.
nice shake. You know.
Yeah.
All right.
Just like Carrie's pottery project, right? All right, you want to draw?
I was not pinching this. Yeah,
You wanna
sure.
draw?
I'll draw. Let's see.
Who we got?
All right. What does it say? What does it say, Vim? I think it says Jason.
It says Jason Smith.
No, we're not doing
Wait,
that.
I've got a proposal for you.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You spin the wheel. If you get the post-quarantine hug with Matt Curtis, you got to keep it.
Okay.
But if you get anything else, we draw another name.
Sure.
All right.
I'll go for it. I get a
Deal.
fair chance. Ready? I get to spin my own wheel. All right. This is happening,
Let's
guys.
see it.
Come
This
on.
is time.
Oh, we almost got it.
All right, new name.
Oh man. Of course
Hit it.
that would happen. Of course that would happen. What we got here?
Whoa,
It is Monster Mike.
Mike Owens.
Monster Mike Owens.
Congratulations.
I wish it's not gonna focus. There we go.
Go follow him on TikTok. He's got like 7 million subscribers. He's
Yeah.
a TikTok machine.
He is very TikTok famous, isn't he?
Okay.
All right. So we spinning for him.
We're-
You got
we're-
it this
we're
time,
spinning
boss.
for Mike Owens. You want me to spin?
Yeah.
Okay.
You go ahead.
I'm gonna give it a nice good spin here. Mike, you are the proud winner of a
Whoa! There it is.
$50 Amazon gift card.
That was the big one.
That was the big one.
All right.
I think that means someone finally won the grand prize.
Yeah.
That means next week we got to come up with brand new prizes.
Heck yes. We
Maybe-
have to shift them up a bit.
Maybe up the ante a little bit. Maybe a $75 Amazon gift card.
Yeah, maybe
if it's in the budget.
maybe ones you get to co-host with us.
Oh.
or take
that'd be
my
a good
place.
one.
You know, we're always looking for that, right?
Yeah. Well, either way, we hope you guys decide to join us next week to see what that prize is. And as always, we're here for you. So if you want to reach out, we've got small groups all across the triangle. So if you want to get plugged in, connected, please reach out to us. We'll get you in touch. In the meantime, we look forward to seeing you guys next week. We love you guys. Praying for you. Peace. We out.